All right, I'm back. I'm back. I was over here still working when I went live. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I just dropped a short. I hope y'all saw it. Um, it was about knowing your worth, right? And what is tonight's podcast about? Why it is the NFL and college football just want the Sanders gone. Like, why they just want them just gone? Like, they just want them out the sport. Not because they're bad people, because they're not bad people. Understand this, right? The NFL understands DNA. They understand greatness. They understand influence. They understand marketing. They understand leverage. They understand all of those things. So do the Sanders, and they have all of those things, right? It's rare to find a family of people who are all athletically gifted and they're famous, they're cultural icons, and they have leverage in the game, and they have influence on and off the field, in the sport, outside the sport, right? So I knew, like a lot of people did, when Shiloh didn't get a combine invite, he was being snubbed, right? But we had to go a little further into the situation to see why Shiloh was being snubbed, right? And when this happened, Shiloh got himself an agent, one of the best, got a tryout with the Bucks, made the team in the summer for the practice squad, the training, I guess like training camp. And then this happens. This guy just comes along after a play, seemingly random. See, the MO is the same. Through everything they do, I swear the MO is the same. Seemingly random situation. I got this guy that's desperate to make the team because he's fourth string with three other people. I never saw three people share fourth string, but the guy in the blue with the Bills was sharing fourth string with three other people. So he perfect patsy to get him to initiate some issue with Shiloh. As you can see, he's pulling on Shiloh's face mask. So Shiloh starts fighting this guy off. Shiloh gets kicked out. The guy don't even get a penalty. So it tells you it was a setup. Why did he even get a penalty? If it was truly random, why didn't both get a penalty? Why didn't both get kicked out? Only Shiloh was penalized. And the fact that you could see that the guy was, pulling on Shiloh's face mask, it was to get him out. What was happening a few days before this happened? The narrative surrounding Shiloh, even though he had just did a quarterback blitz on the QB, I forgot who it was at the time, was Shiloh was going to get cut. So there was already activity happening for Shiloh to get cut. And since he did the quarterback blitz on, I forgot who the quarterback was, and did really well for himself, then enters the plot. Agitate him, he responds and kick him out. Now, there's somebody else that did the same thing, right? Think about Jerry Jeudy. Was Jerry Jeudy harassing Shedeur on the sideline? Jerry Jeudy's attempt to be the patsy this time, because he clearly must want to be liked or for money. I don't know what it is, but we're not here to determine what his motivation was for harassing Shedeur and if he got paid for it. We're just here to discuss the same tactic they tried with Shiloh to bait him in is the same tactic that Jerry Jeudy used to try to bait Shedeur in so that he himself would get kicked out, right? Understand, it was the same thing. And there were zero consequences for Jerry Jeudy. When I say zero, I mean none. Jerry Jeudy was already failing anyway, right? Already underperforming, skipping to my Lou, hiding behind the defenders, kind of like everything. Just kind of doing all sorts of kind of things to harass Shedeur Sanders and bait him into the same type of situation that Shiloh was baited in. Because I don't know if just black people know, but you can't come at no black person trying to embarrass them, talking about how you can't do that. Because everybody knows you're not trying to have a conversation with me. You're trying to put me on blast. And that's what Jerry Jeudy was doing. And Shedeur was like, get the hell out of here, Jeudy. And then Ethan Posick, of all people, the center at the time, comes and get Jeudy away from Shedeur because it was embarrassing, right? So Jerry Jeudy tried it. And what did he try to do? He tried to bait Shedeur in the same way this little dude over here baited Shiloh in, but they got Shiloh. But if you notice, they threw everything at Shedeur, including the kitchen sink, which is what Jerry Judy's trying to get him to bait in, right? Some people broke into his house. I guess he was supposed to run and quit. They wouldn't help him to get ready. I mean, they did everything. They pushed it down in the draft, made he quit, right? Because why? Because just like Shiloh's gone, I wanted Shedeur gone. And what did they do in the draft? What did they do in the draft? They scapegoated Coach Prime and said he was the reason for every damn thing that happened to Shedeur in Cleveland. I said it like that on purpose. I said it like that on purpose because the same thing that happened to Shedeur in the draft. We don't want you. We don't value you. It's the same way he was treated in Cleveland, and Coach Prime was nowhere around. In fact, when Coach Prime was around, Shedeur got the opportunity to ball out. So it goes to show you that there was a plot against Shedeur, Shiloh, and Coach Prime to push them out of football. But let's talk about Coach Prime in college football. All right, so we know the deal, right? We knew the deal when Coach Prime came in, when they didn't give a damn what he had going on at Jackson State before he got there. They didn't. They didn't care. But the moment he flipped Travis Hunter, that's when everybody sat up straight, like, they was just laying back. And then when they heard Travis Hunter flipping from Florida State to a black school, that's what they heard. They sat right up. They sat right up. And they was like, what's happening? Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, the best to ever do it, went over to Jackson State, and we didn't care about what they did over there because they didn't draft no players. And Coach Prime got upset. They was like, so you're not going to draft nobody from over here. You just don't see no talent over here. And they didn't care. But when he got Travis, they cared. And it was on like popcorn after that. So they lured Coach Prime away from Jackson State to bring Travis back to the PWI because, see, here's what a lot of people don't understand about this environment. It's treacherous. It's a get back mentality. It's a I'm going to show you mentality. It's a black versus white mentality, or white versus black mentality. The people that hold the power are white. And as they see black people starting to climb, even in the media space, they start going in. Look at the lady, the Jacksonville Jaguars reporter that came, that represents the black newspaper. They were like, who gave her credentials? She doesn't belong here. They see one black person and start freaking out because if you see one, you're going to see another one. Okay, what's the problem with that? Right? So this is why the NFL and college football wants the entire Sanders family. They already got Shiloh. They working on Shedeur. They working on Shedeur. And they're going to be working on Shedeur next year. And they working on Coach Prime. And see, they keep trying. See, they got Shiloh, but they can't get Coach Prime. They can't get Shedeur, but they keep trying, and they're not going to stop. Right? So the Sanders men are, how should I say it? The Sanders men are constantly under attack. Every last one of them, right? But they're resilient. And one of the reasons they're resilient is because they know. They know the weight that they carry. They do. They understand that people want to take them down because it's not new. These people are cultural icons. And that's a threat to the NFL and college football. Why is Coach Prime a threat? Because people want to play for him. The moment Travis flipped, oh shit, the black kids want to go to a black school. Yeah. And play for a black coach. Yeah. So let's bring him over here to us. And we'll bring Travis back to us. And when Travis goes, we'll kick him out. So what you saw in the draft was an attempt to hurt Coach Prime's influence as a coach. It was to send the message that he can't get nobody drafted. Sure, you can go play for him at Colorado, but he can't get nobody drafted. Now, this was after they already tried to get Travis Hunter to come to leave Coach Prime's program for $1.5 million. It wasn't come play for us. It was, we're offering you $1.5 million to leave Coach Prime's program. Do you have any idea how powerful Coach Prime is when people want to pay players They don't care what school they go to. Just don't go to Colorado while Coach Prime is the head coach. Do you have any idea of how much that makes him a target? That one, he took a #1 player in the country, Travis Hunter, from a PWI to an HBCU where black kids not supposed to want to go play in the first place. Yeah. And after that, other black kids wanted to come play. So you're not supposed to be out here getting black people together, #1. Y'all remember Martin Luther King? Okay. You remember Malcolm X? Oh, okay. You remember Fred Hampton? What were they all doing? Marcus Garvey? What were they all doing? Unifying. So Coach Prime didn't set out to unify black people. He set out to go coach at Jackson State. But what started to happen? Unification. 1.8 million people watched a football game for Jackson State that was broadcast by ESPN. I still got the post about it. And they didn't even care about that. It wasn't until he flipped Travis Hunter, which meant everything that they were doing to stop black players from progressing and to control which black players elevate and to where they elevate and from where they elevate, Coach Prime disrupted. He blew it all up. Because if all of the kids want to go play for Coach Prime, if all of the #1s coming out in the country want to go play for him at Jackson State, the NFL is going to have to draft from Jackson State to get the best. And they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to draft from black schools to get the best. So they deprived the black schools, prop up the white schools, use money in scholarships and nice facilities and in cars to have the black kids turn away from their own to go play and prosper them. Coach Prime upended that when he went to Jackson State. He showed, oh, it don't have to be that way, and I don't even have to have nicer facilities than you, because they wanted to play for him. Even Travis Hunter was going to Florida State, but the best to ever do it went to Florida State. And when he got the opportunity to play for the best, he wanted to go play for the best, and he'd give a damn about what school it was. So it showed you what these kids cared about. Having a coach that would nurture them. And they believed that they could still get drafted. They didn't even stop to even think about that. So what's happening in now with him at Colorado, right? Sold out 3 seasons of football tickets. 3 seasons. Sold 3 seasons of football tickets. Sold the 3rd season even after the NFL draft, where they tried to depress his program and suppress his players. Still sold out the 3rd season. Still had the 2027 #1 QB prospect at CU. So they had to turn to something more treacherous, a plot to depress the program in front of that kid so he can be run off. And that's what happened. So guess what they tried to do when they robbed Shedeur? Run him off. Guess what they tried to do to Shedeur when they wouldn't let him get developed? Run him off. And then they realized something. Shedeur got 20 million fans. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. We run him off. And we run him off, he going to go to another league and they going to go with him. Fact. That is why, what did I read to y'all the other day? I pointed out that the NFL was quick to put up Shedeur Sanders highlights. After his last season, day 8, they put up a couple of people's highlights. Shedeur Sanders was amongst the Joe Burrows and the Jamar Chase and the people they covet like Jackson Dart. They even put Cam up there. They put Shedeur up there. But on the website, they were tearing him down, basically calling him washed up and saying he should be happy with the security of a backup. This was on the NFL site. And I said, God damn, that's two-faced. And they already starting to go in on year 2. Oh, he got to compete. Same playbook. Just keep running it back. Rinse and repeat. That's what they do. Rinse and repeat. Same thing over and over and over and over and over. Lure people in and just stab them in the back. See, once they get your name on paper, you're theirs unless you choose to retire from the league and move on. Something Shedeur still can't do. Now, I'm happy that a lot of the players went back to school. Why? Because they know their worth. Shout out to them. And I'm waiting on somebody decide to walk away. Just like the players went back to school and they knew their worth. I'm waiting on somebody that's already in to say, you know what? No. No, thank you. But I'm going over here. That's the next thing. If you want change, that's the only way it's going to happen. Because until the Sanders men are gone for the sport of football, until their influence, their leverage is gone, until their fame is gone, they will be under attack. So you already know that on year 2, they already putting Shedeur back in the rent cycle. He got to compete. The owner, oh, we're going to make a lot of changes on offense. They ain't asked him nothing like that. They asked him about Shedeur. So he already owned it. You ought to see who the culprit is. Because the fans get moved out the way. So it's a direct line of sight to who the problem is. That's one of the good things about Stefanski being gone. We can see who put him up to it. Yeah. And Shedeur is still there with the person that puts Stefanski up to it. And pay attention to who it is they hired. So he already back. They already got him ready for round 2 if he come back. And they let you know. Celebrating him publicly so the fans could be happy and they could exploit his 20 million fan base. But on their website, tearing him down and saying, oh, he trash. He washed up. He ought to be happy with the security of a backup. You know why they say that? So they can keep him around for likes and clicks. So he going to be a famous washed up quarterback. That's what they saying. That's what they basically saying. And we're going to take advantage of the fame. See, they greedy. If you don't want to be bothered with a person, if you don't want their family to be influential, you think you would just be done with them. But no, they want to be like vultures and pick them apart. Well, let me see. I want to keep your fame and make money from it, get views from it, grow my platform from it, grow my audience from it. But I'm going to hurt you at the same time. That's two-faced. So now it's Coach Prime's turn again. Round 2 again. First, they offered Travis $1.5 million to leave the program. Now it's Jordan Seaton. Top 2 schools keep coming up. Texas, Oregon. Neither one. Anybody believe that anything about this situation is on the up and up, because Jordan Seaton is also projected to be a first-round athlete. So once again, we have people trying to pull first-round NFL draft talent away from Coach Prime. Why? So he doesn't have another first-round draft pick like schools like to do. Oh, we had a first-round draft pick in this year. This is our second first-round draft pick. See, they already disrupted that. So in 2020, for 2025, they messed it up, right? They had Shedeur and Travis. You saw what they did there. Split them up. Pitted them against each other and split them up. Then coming into this draft, everybody gone. Nobody. Then as the next year draft would have been Jordan Seaton. But the money lured him away. And apparently Colorado had put up good money and was close to that. So if Colorado offer you $2 million and they offer you 2.5 and you still leave, you don't want to be at Colorado. Because we talking 500,000. You can get that in endorsements easy. Didn't they have like 5 or 6 players on Taco Bell marketing products? Yeah. So they have connections. So if you leave, you want it to leave. If you leave and you go to a school where you know the head coach like Dan Lanning try to hurt Coach Prime, and you know that at UT they want you to go protect Arch Manning. Arch Manning, the same Arch Manning that the culprit over there in Cleveland is snubbing Shedeur for, then you telling us you willing to be a part of the problem. And good luck to you. So Miami, y'all know one of the advocates for Miami is Michael Irvin, because he went there. He's a alum and big time supporter and big time football player for them. And I don't have a problem with what he said, because Seaton was already in the portal. He said, if you're going to leave my boy, then come see his boy. Now, there are people that don't like this. Let me tell you why they don't like it. Because Michael Irvin and Coach Prime are the decision makers in this situation. And Jordan Seaton would go from Colorado to Miami at the behest of two black men and profit as a black man. There are people that don't like this because they see two black men involved in a situation. They tried to hurt one, but the other one is going to come out here and profit. No, no, no. It's not supposed to be like that. They're not supposed to have that type of influence. We're supposed to control the situation from top to bottom, inside and out, left to right. It's people that don't like this because two black people see like they're calling the shots. Coach Prime got Jordan Seaton there. Coach Prime developed into a first round athlete. And Michael Irvin speaking on behalf of possibly Miami. If you want to leave your boy, come play for his boy. If you want to leave my boy, come play for his boy. That's two black men. They don't like that. Because that means they have influence. They can influence the athletes. They can make the decisions. They can save one from the treacherous. And he can still get rich in the process. I ain't supposed to go like that. Jerry Judy got his guarantees, right? Remember, he started out with 28 million in guarantees, somehow got 41, but they pull his puppet strings. They gonna determine when he leaves. They gonna determine if he gets to enjoy himself or not. He's their puppet. But see, this right here is intervention. Because it is better for Jordan Seaton to go play for Miami. Not if this situation has started. And let me tell you why. Because if Jordan Seaton decide that the terms that they want to sign him for the money that he wants keeps him in school for 2 years, whereas Colorado had him for 1 year, and he want to go back to Colorado and get the $2 million flat for 1 year instead of $2.5 million for 2 years, they're going to chew him up and spit him out. Remember Nico? And it's probably why Bryce Underwood's still at Michigan. See, once you start working with these people, they want to influence you. They want to use you as leverage. They don't care about you. So I would be happier if he went to Miami because Miami is not trying to destroy Coach Prime and Shedeur. But what is Texas's motive? What is Oregon's motive? If the money was close to the same, what the hell is the motive? So Coach Prime don't have a first round pick, or so one of the best friends of Shedeur Sanders has to go now protect Arch Manning, who Cleveland is stepping all over Shedeur for so they can prop up Arch Manning. That ain't a deal Jordan Seaton should take because they using you. See, they want them gone so they don't have to be treacherous. And they still willing to be it. Hold on 1 second. My door popped open. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so yeah, if the cold air come in, then the monitor gonna start beeping like the pipe's gonna burst. So anyway, I had to make sure that was handled. Okay, so understand this is about power. This is a college football, NFL. It's about power. It's about influence. Understand college football started in white supremacy. So did the NFL. Y'all know the NFL's history, where these black quarterbacks are concerned. You already know that they settled the $1 billion lawsuit saying that black people were dumb, right? And if they truly believe this, right? They truly believe this, then they don't want black people to be in power. Now they could be using race norming and hiding behind race norming to say that, they have lower cognitive functioning when they just straight up racist and it don't have nothing to do with whether they're dumb or smart. It's just, we don't want you in this space. This is our space and we don't want you into the space. And one of the reasons they don't want them into the space is because they are influential. And where you see one, you will see two. The post right on the page proves it. There are people that don't like this and they can't say it out loud because two black men are in control of the situation. If Jordan Seaton goes to Miami, all hell gonna break loose. I bet you it will. They're going to say, oh, they was tampering. No, they weren't. He was already in the portal. But that's what they're going to say. Oh, Coach Prime was working with Michael Irvin because Jordan C wanted to leave and Coach Prime might leave. So he working with Michael Irvin to get Jordan C $2.5 million. They don't like that because they're not in control of it. And Miami probably not going to do it, but they could. And I think they should. Because they don't mean Colorado no harm. But Oregon, absolutely. Texas, possibly. I'm shocked. People going to say they want to better their program. Okay. And what does it say if you leaving for about the same amount of money? So they want them gone. Did y'all know one time Miami was upset with Michael Irvin because he was at Colorado games? When Coach Prime first got there, remember Michael Irvin used to come all the time? Miami got upset. He been over there ever since. Remember, we have a coach who left Colorado and is at Miami. I don't have a problem with Miami. I've never known them to try to tear down Coach Prime, tear down Shedeur, or anything like that. But they want them gone because of the influence, not just because of the football, but of the culture. Did y'all see Shedeur's new shoes? Or Nike's new shoes with Shedeur's legendary on it? Did y'all see them? They are nice. I don't even wear shoes. Like, I'm not a sneakerhead like that. They are nice. They are nice. You think Nike don't know that Shedeur has 20 million fans? Of course they do. That's why they signed him to one of the most lucrative deals in college football. In the NIL era, when it kind of just started. And you know how you know Shedeur is still influential in college and he already gone? Why it is, there was reports saying that Texas Tech quarterback makes more than Shedeur did in the NFL. What the hell are you talking about Shedeur for? Quinn Ewers ain't making no money. Why you ain't talking about him? You see what I'm saying? They talking about a player at Texas Tech and saying he makes more money in his NIL deal than Shedeur does for the Browns. I'm like, hello. Excuse me, why you not talking about Quinn Ewers? They want to take Shedeur down a notch so bad. They had him robbed. They want that young man what they did. They want him to get up and leave, and then they realize they could exploit the 20 million fans. He still has the most watched highlights. But they want to suppress him and make him unavailable to compete at the highest level and put up 500 yards every week. Because 393. And you being held back with raggedy Wildcats and you still can put up 393? And you can tie up the game with against the Bills, Josh Allen, who they covet, and they want you to go away, but you got Josh Allen on the ropes and they had to get the snapper to throw the ball to the cameraman. So what they have resorted to doing is creating criminal activity. They so desperate to suppress the Sanders men who are still in the sport of football with their influence and their leverage that they have committed to criminal activity. We so far past collusion. What we saw in Cleveland was coercion, coercing people to be against Shedeur. It happened at Colorado. Think about the players that left Colorado that couldn't protect Shedeur for shit, but went to other schools and could protect. I had people trying to send me videos of the dudes from the first year. I ain't surprised. Jordan Seaton and his situation proves that the O-line been compromised. That's what it proves. Because I said, why they try to get everybody but Jordan Seaton? I said it. I said they can turn everybody on the O-line, but they can't never get to Jordan Seaton. Here we are. They got to him. They say he set out 3 games. I thought it was just 1. So he quit on the team. And he pretended to stay around like he was going to be there, but he was always leaving. Because if he go to Texas, wow. Take me to Texas during the season and then you stop playing? That ain't going to work out. Because that meant you was playing everybody around you. And you let those people convince you to wait until days before the last portal entry can happen. When the portal closes, nobody else can enter. Then they give time for people in the portal to consider going to the portal if they playing in the Natty from Indiana and whoever else, Miami. They'll get a week. But everybody else going to have to start looking for a home. And if there were no more tackles in the portal, then it's going to be slim pickings for Coach Prime and them to regroup. So you wait to the last minute to hurt Coach Prime. Yeah. There's no other way to slice that. You've been around too long. Everybody else bounced December 19th, January 2nd. And everybody else that bounced got offered good schools. So Jordan Seaton ought to be gone by tomorrow. Because Texas said what? They all in on Jordan Seaton, but we want to wait to see what Oregon and LSU do. I don't know why. I thought it was about the player. What we worried about what other schools got going on. His market price is 2.5. What you waiting on? I hope the terms are favorable. Because they waited to the last minute. So there was slim pickings around. And after Jordan Seaton committed, an offensive tackle from Oregon hopped into the portal. An offensive tackle one from Texas hopped into the portal. And I do believe an offensive tackle from LSU hopped into the portal. All of this is not about Jordan Seaton. Just like it wasn't about Travis Hunter. It was about diminishing Coach Prime's program the same way they did in the draft, and it didn't work. And it didn't work in the draft because they still sold out 3 seasons. They still had the number 1 QB recruit on the ground. And they lost 30 players and got back 31. Because today they signed a safety from, I think, Oklahoma. And then they signed a center from U of H. So they still getting players. While they poaching players like Travis and they poaching players like Jordan Seaton, shout out to Travis Hunter, who saw through the rules, they forgetting about players like BJ Green, who got devalued, went undrafted, made it through training camp, got put on a practice squad, and got elevated and went to the damn playoffs. Yeah. You can't take Coach Prime down by taking his talent and his first round draft picks, because there'll be another one. There'll be another one. Travis Hunter wasn't the last first round draft pick. Shedeur ain't going to be the last quarterback to go in the first round. They're going to have to suppress everybody. Just like they did when Coach Prime was at Jackson State. And Coach Prime still put together 2 winning seasons, went to the Celebration Bowl. And then when he came over to Colorado, they came through the door kicking butt 500 yards on TCU, and they said he couldn't do it. Everybody was like, wow, at this level. And when they kept asking the players who came from HBCUs what's the difference, they was like, this is the most yards I ever put up. I ain't even put these kind of yards up in the HBCU, trying to make it seem like the talent in HBCUs, the competition is not there. That's a lie. I watched them play. It was actually more fun because it was racism-free football. I got to watch people just compete. And not people on the O-line get the quarterback sacked so the drive get in. They want them gone from football. You heard Shedeur say, I'm the last one. Actually, Coach Prime is the last one, too. It's 2 of them. I guess they thought they had Coach Prime licked. But he's still over there. Now, they probably got rinse and repeat set up for him to lose the first 3 games and Marion take over. I mean, that's possible. But I think he's doing a good job of recruiting. I think they tried to tell him how to recruit. I think they was pissed off that he went to see Shedeur and had the audacity to sit in front of a microphone and say, well, he shouldn't go see Shedeur's last game because he has recruiting to do. So you didn't get to work from home. That's what you're saying. You don't understand work from home culture. He needs to start going into people's living rooms. Why? If he didn't do it before, why he got to do it now? Because they want to control him. They want to control Shedeur. We want you to be like this. Don't wear your hair like that. Don't do this. Like, Shedeur has to ingratiate himself. He has to have a fade for them to like him. He got to be Jerry Judy for him to like him. No, thank you. Because I don't want to take down my fellow black man. I don't want you paying me 41 million in guarantees or giving me an increase on my guarantees because you want me to take down my fellow black man. Absolutely not. And that's what you're seeing. Whether it's in college or whether it's in the pros, which should make you ask, is the NCAA working with the NFL to suppress and restrict the movement of certain players like Trinidad Shamblers? Shout out to Dante Moore. Did I say that? Let me say it again. Shout out to Dante Moore and everybody else that went back. You see, they want Trinidad gone because he's the story. Shedeur was the story when he was there. They thought they had it lit. And here come Trinidad Shamblers. Seemingly out of nowhere. Was going to be the story of college football next year. But then they like, no. So they pushed him out so he could declare for the draft. They already saying he a day 2 athlete. That's bull crap. He a day 1 athlete. But just like Shedeur, he going to get devalued. And he can't go back to school because the NCAA blocked him. Even though they gave Diego Pavia 7 years, they refused to give him a 6th. They want them gone. Shamblers too. So they booted him out the NCAA. They keep trying to boot Coach Prime out the NCAA. So what is it really they don't want? Black men with influence. And what do they all the time lean on? Whether it's NCAA or the NFL. Money to convince or coerce other black players, be it college or the NFL, to sabotage their fellow black athletes or coaches. Using black people, pitting black people against black people so we keep our hands clean. Sound familiar, don't it? They want them gone, so much so that they baited in Shiloh. And it was obvious. And they tried it with Shedeur. And yeah, this is what Jerry Jeudy was working on. And if y'all notice, Jerry Jeudy didn't have any consequences for the actions of his behavior. Instead, do y'all know that Tommy Rees, the offensive coordinator, came out and said, we have full confidence that Jerry Jeudy will catch a pass when we throw it his way, even though Jerry Jeudy has the most dropped passes in the NFL. And we're going to feature him more. I love Jerry Jeudy. I wonder why they love Jerry Jeudy after this. Because he was willing to go against his own kind. And they can use him and keep their hands clean. Jerry Jeudy should have been benched, but Jerry Jeudy was not benched. Because he was taking down Shedeur for them. He was a willing accomplice, if you will. And it should tell you that Tommy Rees still being there is going to be a problem next year. It should tell you that you ain't heard nothing about Dylan Gable being moved out, have you? Why is he still there? It should tell you that anybody that came towards Shedeur, whether it was Tony Brown or Wyatt Teller, sometimes Flacco, all of those people got pushed out. But the people that are willing to set up Shedeur so they can help move him out or suppress him, so he doesn't have an impact. He has no influence. Remember, quarterbacks can bring in their numbers, but not Shedeur. Because Jerry Jeudy showed them that he can be used by them against somebody that looks like him, something they would never do. What they have shown you in the NFL is they protect people that look like them at all costs, including Kevin Stefanski. Harbaugh got fired, but he can pick where he want to go work. Aaron Rodgers was washed up, but he could pick where he want to go work. And they used Aaron Rodgers to push out Russell Wilson and to block Shedeur. You see? But Jerry Jeudy was willing to help. He must want to be liked. Or he got paid. Because they have crossed over into criminality. I told y'all before. Everything that was being done against Shedeur Sanders to push him out, to suppress him, and Berea was criminal into the robbery. I was right. They want them gone. And since they still there, what the hell they gonna do next? And what happened with Jordan Seaton is likely part of that. Let's see where he lands. So let me see what y'all are saying. And this is Tommy Reese's statement. If y'all don't understand that they had only good things about Jerry Jeudy for failing. It said Reese's comments made in December 2025 emphasized the trust in Jerry Jeudy despite a season where the receiver struggled with drops in production. Jerry Jeudy led the league in drop passes and was intentionally underperforming. He stated, I love Jerry Jeudy. What he brings to the group, his commitment to football. How is he committed to football if he keep failing? It said, whether or not he's made every catch that we want him to make, we're still going to trust him and feature him. No coach does that when they want to win. He further noted that every time the ball goes to Jerry, we have trust that it's going to be a completion. Why would you trust something that don't even happen? There was no proof of that. But this is how they're willing to talk about Jerry Jeudy, because he was setting up Shedeur to fail, because Jerry Jeudy was willing to try to bait Shedeur in the same manner that Shiloh was baited in. That's why they like Jerry Jeudy. So now that the Sanders are back, Coach Prime, Shedeur Sanders, seemingly, taking the off season. Coach Prime already gone back to work, recruiting people on airplanes, despite what the hell they said, try to dissuade him from going to Shedeur's last game. He still went. He flew private. He flew on his own dime, so can't nobody complain. It proves to you that over there at CU, they're more worried about controlling a black man who they want gone than they are winning. Now, they go out here and win. They just gonna up the ante. But see, they're not gonna win as long as Livingston is over there. They're gonna have to try to overcome him. See, he's the plan. That's why they gave him that contract before they signed his contract. And his contract lasts through 2026, and he gets a bonus if he's still there in September. But they want Coach Prime to quit. Coach Prime ain't no quitter. Coach Prime has influence. He's a cultural icon, the best to ever do it in football. Players still coming to see you. It don't matter who you take. 30 people left, and they got 32 as of today in, with 2 more signings from U of H in Oklahoma. Coach Prime was already listed as one of the most influential coaches in college football. That's why they taking him down. And the players that will prevail, the BJ Greens, they gonna make it because they're talented. And as some measure, you will be evaluated based on your production. Yeah, they're going to try to hold on the program, but you're going to learn in life that that's a lot of facets in industries and places in life. People will always try to hold you back. And like the Sanders, you're going to have to prevail and be resilient and say to hell with them. And at first, it might be confusing because when people gravitate towards you, especially where your daddy used to work, and they like, we want to draft you number 2. And then they drop you like a bad habit and get somebody that it's just not good. And then they try to send you to be parked behind Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts. And you like, no, I want to go to the team that said they want to get me because I just might have to work a little harder, but I can still get it because they already believed in me. No, they didn't. They was lying. That was a true bait and switch, and that is also illegal. So it shows you how desperate these people are to take down the Sanders. And I want you to remember something. Mariah Carey got robbed twice. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Mariah Carey got robbed twice. So don't think just because it happened once, they won't run it back again to try to prove their point. It wasn't us. Yeah, it was. The point is, you can't underestimate nothing because they're desperate to get the Sanders out of college football and the NCAA because they exemplify, they are greatness. They are cultural icons. They are famous. They have influence. They have leverage. They can control their own narrative. And they hate that. They don't want you to have nothing to do what they trying to do. They don't want you to save what they're trying to destroy. Why do you think Mike Tomlin got fired? People keep saying, that's not what happened. Yes, it is, because Mike Tomlin has to get permission from the Pittsburgh Steelers to get another job. They said before the Baltimore Ravens game, if the Steelers lose this game, Mike Tomlin is going to be made a lame duck coach. And they did it anyway, and they beat Baltimore. And he didn't even draft Shedeur, and they still pushed him out. He did everything they wanted to, and they still pushed him out, Andrew Berry. People pointed out how Fontenot, the GM in Atlanta, had one of the best draft classes, and they pushed him out, Andrew Berry. That's next. They pushing all the black people out. And they using black people to help. Pitting them against each other on the field and off. So they can control Coach Prime's narrative. So they can control Shedeur's narrative. So they can control Shiloh's narrative. So they think they're going to control Bucky's narrative. Bucky got his own shoe. And Nike. And Steph Curry, who left Under Armour, Steph Curry, who made a decision to leave Under Armour and said, to hell with you, was shown walking in to the Warriors facility in Coach Prime shoes. Yeah. That's why they want them gone. Remember, Shedeur gave a lot of his teammates some of the same shoes he wear. Do you see those shoes on? Shedeur is a natural leader, and people naturally gravitate towards him. That's why they had Jerry Jeudy sharing a locker with Flacco, telling him what to do, but he signed up for that eventually. And they're going to use him again because he's probably going to be right there again. Because Andrew Berry could only do so much. He couldn't stop Stefanski from abusing Shedeur. So let's see if he used his melanin for good to get Shedeur to a good team where he can ball out as QB1. Because using your connections to get him parked behind Lamar and Jalen ain't it. That makes you part of the problem. So let's hopefully he done turned over a new leaf and he's genuine. Somebody around there got to be genuine towards Shedeur. And I applaud him if he want to walk back in there with his head held high and go through the rent cycle again, because it's going to happen. But as long as God keep opening that door and he keep walking back in there, we going to support him. Shedeurians will support him. I ain't saying I would do it, but I told y'all, Shedeur was better than me. Y'all thought I was playing. I wasn't being funny. See, sometimes we say that. I was not being funny. I was serious. That's how I know God's still working on me. I said it. Shedeur has survived something people twice his age wouldn't have. What he went through was excruciating. It was abuse. And abuse leaves trauma. So I'm glad the season ended when it did. That's God looking out for him. Letting the season end on the W. Because clearly God might keep the door open for him to come back, even though I think he'll be traded. We're going to see what happened with this robbery when they extradite these suspects back to Ohio. You got to always look for the unexpected, and that goes for the Sanders too. And I know they smart. And I know they know that these people not going to let up. But what they should know is the playbook is the same, is stale, is outdated, and they will resort to criminality. So keep your head on the swivel, because lightning can strike twice in the same place. All right. So let me shout out my super chats. I see y'all over here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It say, hey, Nola, Stefanski had my anxiety up, Lord. It said, Jesus, I had to exercise my faith. It said, dirt diver ball, dropping in-house. It said, dropper, in-house, sabotage. Yep. 72, horrible. They shall reap evil. It said evil begets evil. Roguish. That's a good word for it. Roguish. The NFL is NFL 12 is winning. It said Nike knew he was the first rounder. Right. What did Nike say? Nike said, what did they say? It's a matter of time or something like that. Yeah, they ain't like that either. They didn't like that either. It's a matter of time. I felt like Gatorade should have been more vocal. I felt like Gatorade should have been way more vocal than they were, but maybe they were over there moving behind the scenes. But I find it very interesting that all of these people around them, all of these endorsements, and nobody could do anything. I just find that so peculiar. Like, you know, it's amazing to me that nobody could stop Stefanski. Nobody could stop the people in the draft. Nobody could just stop them from doing wrong, from committing illegalities to hold Shedeur back or scapegoat Coach Prime. I just find that so interesting because there's always people around there profiting off of them, but nobody could stop them from hurting them. Maybe I don't understand everything, right? Shout out to Mama Tia. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Claire, welcome back. It said, I'm not with Harbaugh getting that deal from Houston. It said, what's that? It said, if he do that, the hell he's going to do with Barry. What you say about Harbaugh getting a deal from Houston? I don't think he signed with anybody, did he? Let me know what you're talking about, Miss Claire. I'm not sure. I think if you're talking about John Harbaugh, he's supposedly getting a job in New York. Y'all let me know if that's the case. But thank you for the super chat. And welcome back, Claire. I haven't seen you in a minute. And welcome back, Mama Tia. Thank y'all so much. Mama Tia, I saw you in the comments. Thank you, Ramon. I appreciate it. It says Simeon Price is in the portal, the running back. It said the running back room is getting crowded with new people. Yes, I saw that. And I read where Michigan, their running back hopped into the portal because they're going to Georgia Tech. Did we have somebody that signed with Georgia Tech? So Georgia Tech trying to reload. They were trying to get their coach, but their coach said he was staying. It's a lot. It is a lot happening. And I want y'all to understand something. There's nothing wrong with getting in the portal. It's how you make your exit. It's not the way you start. It's the way you finish, right? And if you leave in a program, you make sure you leave. Don't burn no bridges because you might have to come back because anytime, any one of these coaches could be elevated to the next level. You'll never know where you're going to end up. And the way things are today, they may not be tomorrow. And if you choose to play somebody in this treacherous game of football, you're going to find out you the one that's going to get played eventually. Don't do it. And don't let them use you and pit you against somebody else that's black. Don't do their dirty work. Don't let them pay you to do their dirty work. Thank you. Congratulations to who? AB next. That's what I say. Ramon. That's what I say. He better know he next. When I heard them talking about the Falcons, GM and how he had put together this stellar class, one of the best draft classes that they had, I said, Andrew Barry next. I know they're going to get him. They're going to get him before that Manny kid come on in. Watch what I tell you. Because they was trying to fire him before they was trying to fire Stefanski. And they got upset because Andrew Barry, who's black, got to keep his job, and Stefanski got fired because he's white. That tells you that's how they look at this situation. They feel like the NFL and college football is their space, and we're somehow invading it. That's how they act. That's how they treat people. And the only reason they touch all on you is so that you can feel like that they not stabbing you in the back. But Lamar Jackson caught on, didn't he? Because the way he curved Harbaugh, I'm so proud of Lamar. And that whole be legendary, boy, that sent chills through my spine. Sure did. And what did I say I want these guys to do? Start talking to one another. I want them all in a group chat. All of them. 17 to 32 is what you call it, because that's the mission. To keep there from being 17 black starting quarterbacks. And they trying to push toward 2 white people in the Super Bowl. Let's see what happened to Houston and Chicago, or CJ Stroud and Caleb Williams. The same thing that probably happened to Lamar and Jalen Hurts. And Bryce Young, it said 12 bought this man a Maybach. Right. And here's the thing. And that says a lot about your character. And it also tells me that Jordan's seat is green. And he gonna get got. I'm telling you, because you are telling people how to treat you. Young people, you have got to learn. This world is a very small place. A very small place. And just like that, Coach Prime could end up in his head coach in NFL because you don't know what the hell is going to happen from today till we find out who committed that robbery and who paid them. Pressure. We already talked about watching pressure make them make decisions they didn't want to make. Pressure will be back. And they better know it. And it's going to be more people next time. It said, when a person show you who they are, believe them. Facts. Facts. It said Shedeur would never take that Maybach back. No, it's not. But we're not. I don't think he should take it back. I wouldn't even want it. It's not about him taking it back. What people are saying is they feel like the way Jordan pretended that he was going to still be there, getting the media department to make him a video that Texas is now, or Inside Texas, sharing, because he knew he was leaving, saying, come play with me, to give people the impression you staying, but then all of a sudden you gone. You could have, and you waited to the last minute. Because understand this, if you wait to the last minute and there's already no tackles in there and you're leaving, well, thank God some tackles popped in there, didn't it? How convenient. How convenient after he leaves, the schools that are interested in him have a tackle pop up into the portal. That's just way convenient. It is. And if you're the number one tackle in the country and Colorado offered you close to what they offered you, why are you leaving? And if you say you want to get a natty, do they have one recently? Oregon? How many they have? Texas recently, since they joined the SEC, how many they have? Just be honest. Just be honest. Just say, I want to go further than we've gone. Oh, I think it's too difficult. Just be honest. Don't be out here snaking people, because you're going to get snaked. That's what people are talking about. He was too close and had too close of a bond with Shedeur to do it that way, to be underhanded. That's what people are talking about when they bring up the Maybach. No, we don't expect Shedeur to do anything different. He don't move like that. But are they lying? No, they're not lying. He doesn't deserve it. It said Best Sport Podcast going. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Huckleberry. It said, thanks for keeping me informed. You're welcome. It said his nickname says it all. Grown. Absolutely. It said the season ended with 2 W's. Facts. And they act like he didn't do that. It said, yeah, there will be a new QB competition if the new coach wants one. They already said it's a new QB competition, and they don't care what the coach wants. Probably be good for him to have competition. If it matters, coach, it's not good for Shedeur to endlessly compete and win, and he still gets snubbed. No, that's not okay. That's not okay. This is another reason they want him gone right here. You know how you know Shedeur's greatness? Because he already got another dynamic duo at the next level. Shedeur established a dynamic duo with Travis in college and got snubbed in NFL and still got back to QB1, something they didn't want him to do, and put together another dynamic duo so much that they found a way to bench Harold Fanning Jr. And they don't want to commit to Shedeur next year. Why would you want to split that young core up? The same reason they fired Fontenot, even though he put together one of the best draft class they've had in a decade, because he's black. And the sooner people start to understand that that's what this is about, suppressing black talent, influence, leverage, and the ability to control their own narrative, the ability for them to create their own shine, then maybe people will get it. But I don't think people want to get it. But that's what it is. Shout out to Shedeur and for Harold Fanning Jr. It said, you tell me the status on my orange beanie. I can't tell you while I'm on this podcast. But let me see if I could email me and let me know. And thank you, ma'am. All right. It says Stefanski is running out of options now. Yeah, I think they had Harbaugh to hit the market to suppress him. I kind of thought that already because I think they want him gone because they know the truth. I told y'all he was a legal liability. I wasn't kidding. And they said it on Pac-Man Jones' show. Y'all talking so kindly about him. Why you fire him? I just want to know why they want to get him another job as a head coach. If he got fired as a head coach, why does he deserve to be looked out for? Why are we looking out for him? That's the part I want to know. Because what did he do that you have to look out for him? Okay. So email me, Clara. It said not with Houston, but the Browns. Oh, Harbaugh. Yeah, I definitely don't want to see Harbaugh with the Browns. That's fact. It said you will get got. Absolutely, you will get got because you're showing people you green. Cleveland needs Tomlin. The only way Tomlin can get a job in the NFL is if the Pittsburgh Steelers give him permission. So he's still, it's exactly what they said. He was going to be a lame duck coach, so he didn't want to be that. At the end of the day, they pushed him out. They didn't have to do that. He could have been right back next year. But see, I listened to them today talk about how instrumental Mike Tomlin was in the draft. And y'all know he wanted to draft Shedeur, and they aggressively intimidated him. And well, Dante was coming out, but now he's not. Actually, I think this is the perfect time for Mike Tomlin to be gone. Because there's not a lot of black quarterbacks coming out at the top because they all went back to school. So I say, you know what? Screw it. Because all he was doing, they try to use Tomlin to get Shedeur at number 2 to suppress him like Stefanski did. And Tomlin said no. They wanted to pit Tomlin against Shedeur, and they knew Tomlin knew Coach Prime. But they felt like because we pay you $18 million a year, you get him and you abuse him. And he's like, no. So he in Cleveland because he didn't want to go behind Lamar. He didn't want to go behind Jalen. So they like, fine, you want to make a decision for yourself. You want to come over here. We going to show you. And that's what they did. And he going to be back right over there. And they just going to be in more legal trouble. That's all. The Sanders not giving up. Why would they? I wouldn't either. And they used to people hating on them. So it says, so Harbaugh is going to New York. We don't know if he's going for sure, Clara. He's still interviewing. I heard he got an interview with Atlanta next. Yes, indeed. And I love it. Okay. It says, stay alive. Travis wasn't for sale. Facts. You couldn't put a price on his name. There you go. Travis was not for sale. Travis knew his worth. Travis knew you offered me 1.5 million to leave. I'm over here learning from the best. I'm the prize. Goes on to win the Heisman and got a cool 31 mil sitting in his bank account. Because he won't go first anyway. If you like that. Otherwise, you just becoming part of the problem. If this is about $500,000, I ain't giving it to you. See, there's a time when a company has to know, you know what? You if I offer you, if you want 2.5 and I offer you 2 mil and you say no, you know what you telling me? You don't really want to play with me. Because you're not going to let $500,000 when we're talking millions stop a deal. And I think it makes more sense for Coach Prime to spread that money out. He would have gave Jordan Seaton over them other players and keep the squad together. Because I never thought it made sense for only one person to make all the money. In college, why would one lineman make $5 million? What about the rest of the linemen? Aren't they doing the same job? I never thought that made sense. The quarterback, okay, I get that. But why pay one lineman? I think Texas Tech did that. Why pay one lineman $5 million? What you going to do with the rest of the linemen? They're going to hit the portal. They're going to try to get that money too. Take that $5 million and give $1 million to them each. That's what you're supposed to do to keep the unit together. But no, they just out here passing out money like it's Mardi Gras beads, and I'm going to pick and choose who I want to give it to. Transfer of wealth. So they want them gone. So they're not influential in who gets paid and who elevates. Coach Prime has a lot of influence as to who works there, who gets paid, who gets developed, who gets the shine. Because he played the next man up. He already had 3 black quarterbacks. They don't want that. Why y'all think Ryan Staub getting all the love as backup? I don't hear about no other backup like that. They were talking about Ryan Staub when they got ready to play U of H, like he was already proven. And after that disaster, they just failed. But yet, out here on the Oregon Trail, he wanted the hottest, he the hottest backup available. Why? Because they chose him to be. That's why. Just like they chose Dart, just like they chose Shaw, and they didn't care about their talent. And they was trying to force Coach Prime hand. Pressure is, yep, the pressure is up. It said, hope Shedeur learns to never trust no one. Right. Loyalty is not guaranteed. Right. I love you, Mama Atlanta. Okay, thank you, Bobby. Thank you so much. Yep, Tony. Y'all talking about oh, you talking about Tomlin? Tomlin? It said you're right, Nola girl. I did not like that about Seton. I totally agree. And God don't like ugly at all. At all. People don't understand that matters. And for a lot of people, they feel like they can write their own narrative. They don't have nobody to answer to. Shedeur is from money and Seton trying to get that money, right? But he gonna learn a hard. Let me tell you something about people in that space, right? Let's say you dating somebody and you out here snaking somebody. Guess what? She gonna snake you with somebody else that do what you do because that's what you did. And she watched you do it. So you taught her how to do it. You taught her how to lie. You taught her how to tell you the same lie that you told somebody else. And you think you're gonna roll off into the sunset. No, you're gonna learn in a very difficult and excruciatingly painful way how to treat people. Yeah, you're gonna learn. That's facts. They said Tomlin might need some time off, but we need him right now. Now where y'all think they're gonna let Mike Tomlin play? Let's be honest. Mike Tomlin has to get their permission before he gets another job. They say he probably gonna end up in media. What team you think they will let him go to? You really think they're gonna let him go to the Browns and nurture Shedeur? Hell no. They don't even want to nurture Shedeur. I ain't even want Tomlin over here no more. So why would I put him with a black quarterback that I didn't want him to draft? That ain't gonna happen. That is not gonna happen. It's funny how when they announced that he was leaving, they sweetly put out a photo, a video of his daughter. She committed to Georgia. She does gymnastics, I think, for the University of Georgia. And I was like, oh, maybe he gonna end up in Atlanta. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. That might be what happened. It said Cleveland want a stadium. It's Tomlin and Shedeur. They don't want them two to bring them into the stadium, though. It's what the fans want to see. They don't care. If they care what the fans want to see, I don't know why Kevin Stefanski ever worked there. And why he worked there so long. They don't care. That's what the same thing that they said about Arthur Blank. He said, we have to do better by the fans. I'm like, did he copy and paste this from the other one? What's the one? Haslam? Because he said the same thing. And it's funny how Atlanta fans said, what they said, Arthur Blank must be a master manipulator because they have had 8 losing seasons, but they always find a reason to they always find a way or make a move that leaves the Falcons fans clamoring to buy tickets for what they gonna do next year. And that's true. Because last year, when Michael Penix Jr., they benched him, they started Kirk Cousins, and then they benched Kirk Cousins, and Michael Penix Jr. got in and ended on a good note, just like Shedeur. And they tried to get him to save in the playoff game. And they came out instantly when that season ended. Michael Penix Jr. gonna be starter for next year. So everybody ran out and bought season tickets. And then Michael Penix Jr. starts. And they switched it up. They got him injured. Yes, they did. And then what? Kirk Cousins closed the season. And now they out here. They firing the GM that did the best job in the last decade. They firing the head coach, which they knew it was the offensive coordinator that was the problem. But they found a way to fire 2 black people, hurt the black quarterback, and leave clamoring for next year. And how are they doing it? Because they're going to change the logo or the uniforms. I'm like, y'all easy. That's what they be saying. Y'all easy if that's going to get it. So they show Michael Penix Jr. more. They show him more clips about him. And Arthur Blank came out and said Michael Penix Jr. gonna be the quarterback because he ain't stupid. Let's see what happens. Because this is gonna be year 9 of the same BS. Michael Penix Jr. is injured for 9 to 10, 12 months. I can show all the clips I want about him. He ain't available. They made sure of that. They moved Michael Penix Jr. out the way and they fired the 2 black people in leadership. And now they want to talk about changing the uniform so people could get excited. I am not a Falcons fan. And this is why. Because I don't care about none of that. I care about how you treat Michael Penix Jr. See, everybody don't want to be like that. They don't want to look at it. They want to look at we get to have fun together and tailgate and eat turkey legs and hot dogs. See, I got somewhere else to go. So this ain't my social hour. This ain't church for me, right? I can go to church if I want to go to church. But that's what it is for a lot of people. Oh, we get season tickets. We're going to be sitting next to the Joneses. And it's like a status symbol because the ticket's not cheap. Them tickets not cheap. And you know how you know the ticket's not cheap? In Carolina, for season tickets, you can finance them for 3 years. I'm like, excuse me? You can finance them for 3 years to get season tickets. Yes. Yes. If you do a watch party, can you get the game tracker? Where can I get the game tracker? Let me know where to get it from. And then I'll see if I can get it. You email me, TK, email me at whatshesaid404@gmail.com or anybody and let me know game tracker from and I'll find one. It said too late. The influence is here to stay. Yup. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yup. That's it. Need to go get Belichick. For what? Why? Why do they need to go get Belichick? Tell me why they need to go get him. You talking about the Browns? Why should the Browns go get Belichick? Come on. For what? Why keep recycling these washed up coaches? It's all these young coaches out here who could bring in all of the, innovation and playing the game differently. You got to move on. You got to move on. You got to move on. Just move on. Instead, can't believe Seton is leaving. Thought he was family. He was. They brought him in like they did Travis, and Travis stayed, and he didn't. He did not. He did not. Ramont Julian and say hello to you. He did not, y'all. So Travis couldn't be bought. That's facts, right? That's facts. And from what I did read in here, and I've been running around doing research, CU was caught off guard. I kind of thought that though. But what I noticed is, and see, this could be very telling too. It depends on how it's going to go at his next stop. I thought it was interesting that Seton hopped into the portal, knowing that this catching CU off guard. Seton hops into the portal right after a swing tackle, a guy that can play left and right from Georgia, signs with CU. Y'all don't think that's weird? Why are you on the internet running around asking people to come play with you? They get somebody that can play left or right, which is good because if something happened to you, they got somebody on the left and you leave the afternoon after he commits earlier that day. Seemed like he just wanted to leave. That's what it's giving. Seemed like he just wanted to leave and he was always going to leave. Antonio Pierce for Shedeur. No. Because Antonio Pierce showed his true colors and blamed Shedeur for his situation. No, I didn't like that. No, see, what y'all have to remember is when these people be on these shows, they jockeying for something. When they keep doing these interviews and they keep running around from here to there, just like Rex Ryan trying to get back somewhere. They say he's trying to get back to the league. Antonio Pierce trying to get back as a head coach. Remember the Gruden guy. Oh, I'm a big fan of Shedeur's. You and 20 million other people. So no. Mike Tomlin is the only coach I'll say yes to. Brian Flores, maybe, and who else? What's another good coach for Shedeur? But for one, it don't matter because they're not gonna let nobody nurture Shedeur, and that's what people have got to get through their thick skulls. Who is they? The owner. If he wanted Shedeur to be nurtured, you think he would have left Stefanski there to abuse him? No. Talking about hiring Schwartz. One, because he cheap. And two, he was hired by Stefanski, so he going to do the same thing. Now, is he willing to risk his reputation like Stefanski did? That's why it's taking him so long to find somebody. Because you have to find somebody that's willing to be Stefanski, to embarrass their family, to be called a racist, and to be fired. I don't know who that is. I told y'all everybody don't want to do what Stefanski did. Al Harris and Autry Denson need interviews instead of these. Who is Al Harris and Autry Denson? What teams they play for? It said why is better is because Belichick is going against Tom Brady on the Super Bowls. Tom Brady have won more Super Bowls, and the Cleveland Browns got a team to make it to the Super Bowl. Let me ask you a question. You said it. They have a team to make it to the Super Bowl, but they don't have the desire to make it to the Super Bowl until they get that Manning kid. Y'all have got to understand here. There's the politics at play. You're right. And what did the owner say? We could have won more than 5 games. So why you didn't fire Stefanski? Because I didn't want to win more than 5 games. This is not about football, people. It might be about football for you. It's not even about football for people that own the teams. It's not about football for the coaches. The draft showed you that. Chicago and Arizona. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you for that. It said, remember when Seton was looking at the money at the game, he was like, I need the money the boys are making at the game. Now, I mean, he clearly is like, into material stuff, but honestly, you could be materialistic and still be a nice person. I just think for some reason he decided to stab them in the back. And I think it's money. And sometimes when you let money rule everything around you, then you go to the highest bidder. But again, you got to know who you playing the game with. And he don't know. And he gonna get played, right? Let's see what happens. He should have signed by now. I think he got to do some visits. So we'll see. It said I heard Seton is going to Texas with Arch Manning. Texas did say they was all in. And that's what I mean by you don't want to do that. See, if you do that, you directly going against Shedeur. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that because it's obvious guys don't play about Shedeur. That's obvious. And people keep trying it, but they keep learning. And Jordan Seton going to be next because you got to be crazy out of your mind to put on your stories during the season. Take me to Texas, then you don't play. They say 3 games. I thought it was 1, but they say he set out 3 games. You quit on the team. That meant all this time you knew. All this time you knew. And then that's where you want to go? To a team to protect the person that they are trying to use to crush Shedeur? Oh, hell no. Nah. He might want to sell that. Maybe I can buy something else quickly. It said, Tom Peterson, Mike Tomlin, Pittsburgh ex-coach, was the one who set up the Rudy Rule. Was it? Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't even know how long that go back. You think he set up the Rooney Rule? Let's see. Who established the Rooney Rule? It said the NFL adopted the Rooney Rule in 2000 and NFL adopted the Rooney Rule. Was it 2000 and what? The NFL adopted the Rooney Rule in 2003 based on recommendations made by the league's Workplace Diversity Committee, now known as Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, that probably don't even exist no more. It was named after then chairman of the committee, Dan Rooney, the late owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, okay, you might be right. So was it talent or was it the owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers? In 2003? Was Mike Tomlin there in 2003? I know he'd been there 20 years, so 2025, 2005. So I don't even know if he was there in 2003. But you're right about somebody being involved in the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. And maybe it was. Maybe he somehow had something to do with it. But it does seem like it has something to do with somebody from Pittsburgh. So shout out to you for that info. That's interesting. I had no idea. All right, $243. We're going to get out of here because I have a video getting ready to drop. Colorado players. What's that? It said, but they are poaching. I mean, yeah. Remember we had players poached last year? Remember we had that one player, the running back. I forget his name. I wonder what happened to him. Virginia Tech wound, like kind of lured him. Remember? for 500,000, they said. And he got there and it wasn't what they said it was. So he had to go back to the portal, and then he ended up going to South Carolina, and he was a backup. What was his name? Isaiah Agustave. And I remember the conversation because people were saying he had a daughter. And I said, oh, I mean, I don't, it's okay if you want to leave, but you can't let these people lure you into doing something that if people found out about it, you could get kicked out, illegal, fraudulent, because they're going to use that as leverage, because they're going to say, they stabbed him in the back because he was willing to be poached. You're not supposed to poach people. Right? That's why it's a thing, right? So if you're willing to let yourself be poached, they're going to use you. They're going to discard you. And that's one pattern I have learned from these people in this football space. They will use you and discard you like nothing and don't even look back. That's why I'm like, it's treacherous. It's a treacherous situation. Let's see why Isaiah Agustave ended up. He's still at South Carolina, y'all. So, yeah, he had to go back into the portal. He had, in 2025, he had 2 carries, 1 yard. He got tricked out his spot. He a junior now, so hopefully he'll have a better year. Maybe he got injured or something. That's crazy. He only played 2 games. Maybe he got injured. I don't know. And the first game, he played, let's see. That's crazy. So remember, this was like, wasn't he the leading running back from Colorado? So y'all, check this out. He had 2 carries for 1 yard in the first game. And then in the second game, he recorded 0. So he played, 2025. It said he played versus South Carolina State, and he played for South Carolina Gamecocks. Maybe he got injured. So he got tricked out his spot. That's what I mean. That's why I say you got to be careful. So he was one of the leading running backs because somebody got injured. Isaiah Agustave. Remember, he was like number 23, I think. So he was getting all the shine. I remember he was actually pretty good. And he got poached. And I remember Coach Prime coming out and saying, all right, I'll let you have 1. That's it. Like, I ain't saying nothing about the first one, but it's going to be a problem. So they lured him to, I think, one of them schools, Virginia or Vanderbilt or something like that. Virginia, I feel like one of them schools. And when he got there, what they told him to get him to hop into the portal. See, they come to you before you get in the portal. That's how they poach you. And they tell you this, that, and the other. We're going to give you 500,000 for a year. Come play for us, yada, yada, yada. But when you get into the portal, and then they get you out the portal, and then they get you to the table, it ain't what they said it was. And what happens, he had to get back into the portal, and Colorado didn't pick him up. South Carolina did. But for whatever reason, he only played 2 games. 2 carries in the first game. And I think he was second string at the time. So he went from being number 1 at Colorado to in 2025, nothing. 2 yards. That ain't going to help. People getting tricked out their spots. I remember last year, remember Bishop Thomas? Remember he played for Colorado? He said he got tricked out his spot by Georgia State. Georgia State took 2 of our players. Both of them said they got played. Yep. That's why I say don't be getting tricked out your spot. So, you know, it's a treacherous business. Yep, that's him. Isaiah Agustave was poached by Virginia. That's it. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. CD has an agent. Yeah, I think he would clutch sports. He ought to be all right. Every big name Colorado player who jumped in the portal was misused with the new team. What? Now, I think the one guy did good, right? Colton Hood, did he do well at Tennessee? I think he did good. They said he's supposed to be a late first round pick. I wish him well. I don't know how he was allowed to walk. I don't know what happened there. Something happened there. And y'all know it be things happening that don't make sense to us on the outside that we don't even be knowing about. When we be seeing situations and we like, what the hell is going on? It's stuff. It's stuff. Sometimes it's between the players. Yep. Sometimes it's between the players. Alta McCaskill went to Arizona State and didn't see the field. Right. And BJ Green came from Arizona State to Colorado and look at where he is in the NFL, enjoying his life because he's now playing. And they went to the playoffs. And I know he probably got more money for that. I hope he did anyway. So shout out to BJ and Cameron Summer Craig. It's that hope that Steve don't get tricked out. Right. He with Clutch Sports, so I'm sure they got him. I think he would Clutch Sports. But I'm like you. It said Dylan Edwards been bouncing around since he left CU. Oh man, he not at Kansas no more. I don't see he left too. Yeah, that's just. But a lot of our guys that left this year, they had some good offers. They sure did. I think was it Cam McHale, or I think it was Cam McHale had offers like 20 offers. I think did he get somebody? I'm gonna have to. We'll check the portal tomorrow. That's a good thing for us to do tomorrow. We'll check the portal tomorrow and see where all the Colorado people farmed out to, just to see and who we got in, so we can kind of get ready. Is the schedule out for next year? Is the Colorado football schedule out? I think it is, because they make the schedule a couple years in advance. Let me look right fast, and then we could see football 2026. I want Coach Prime to do really well because they don't want him to. Let's see. Do we have a schedule? Maybe we won't have a schedule yet. Yeah, because they got the 2027 schedule out. Okay, here we go. University of Colorado 2026. Who we play first? Oh. Let's see. I don't know who we play first. Oh, University of Colorado Athletics. 2026. Oh, they got the future schedules. They got 26 out, 27 is out, 28 is out, 29 is out, 30 is out. Good grief. All right. In 2026, we meet up with Georgia Tech again in Atlanta this time. Last time it was over there. Weber State, never heard of school, and Northwestern in Illinois. So the first 3 games, let me share this with y'all. And we'll look at the players tomorrow. So y'all, they already got the we meet up with Georgia Tech again. That's gonna be interesting. All right, and then I'm gonna get myself out of here. Here it is, right here, so y'all can see. All right, y'all. So yep, Shedeur already got another dynamic duo that they trying to interrupt over there. Okay, here we go. So y'all can see September 5th, 2026 at Georgia Tech right here in Atlanta. So I'm going to be there because I ain't got to go nowhere. September 12th, Weber State in Boulder. Never heard of that school. And September 19th, Northwestern in Illinois. That's exciting. That's different. You know, Chicago in the summertime. That might be a good one. Well, it's almost fall. So maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so what do y'all think about the first few games? Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. Georgia Tech and Georgia, yes. Isaiah Agustave plays here for USC, the Carolina Gamecocks. Did you watch any of the games? It said Colorado players are like new cars. Once they leave Boulder, they lose value. Uh-oh. But not Colton Hood, though. Like, isn't he one of the ones that did well? I mean, I see what you're saying. Overwhelmingly, it seems to kind of happen. But Colton Hood seems to have kind of bucked that trend a little bit. But we'll see what happens to the rest, because a lot of people hopped in the portal. Remember, Coach Prime is a brand. Facts, Ramont. Facts. It said they are coming for Clutch Sports, too. Uh-oh, what you mean by that? They coming for Clutch Sports. Good stuff. Thank you, Mel. Worth it, real talk. Facts. So they coming for Clutch Sports. Yeah, because they have entered the football market. So they've been in the football market for a minute. And as far as I can tell, they're doing really good. So it wouldn't surprise me if they want to try to set them up for the okie doke. But we'll see. It's okay to hop in the portal, but you got to conduct business on the up and up. You can't be doing no underhanded stuff, because you're going to become leverage. That's just all it is. You're going to get chewed up and you're going to get spit out. All right, so we'll be back tomorrow. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I got another video to drop. And then I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports. Have a good night, everybody. Clara, don't forget to email me. See y'all later.